It is not right that all the burden of the Nauvoo house should rest on the few individuals, and we will now consider the propriety of sending the 12 to collect means for the Nauvoo house. There has been too great a solicitude in individuals for the building of the temple to the exclusion of the Nauvoo house. The agents have had too great latitude to practice fraud, by receiving donations and never making report. The church has suffered loss, and I am opposed to that system of collecting funds when any elder may receive monies. I am opposed to any man's handling the public funds of the church who is not duly authorized. I advise that some means be devised for transacting business on a sure foundation. The 12 are the most suitable persons to perform this business, and I want the conference to devise some means to bind them as firm as the pillars of heaven, if possible. The 12 were always honest, and it will do them no hurt to bind them. It has been reported that they receive wages at $2 per day for their services. I have never heard this till recently, and I do not believe it. I know the 12 have never had any wages at all. They have fulfilled their duty, and they have always gone where they were sent, and have labored with their hands for their support when at home. If we send them into the world to collect funds, we want them to return those funds to this place, that they may be appropriated to the very purpose for which they were designed. I go in for binding up the 12, solid, putting them under bonds, and let this conference institute an order to this end, that the traveling expenses of the agents shall not be borne out of the funds collected for building these houses, and let no man pay money or stock into the hands of the 12, except he transmit an account of the same immediately to the trustee in trust, and let no man but the 12 have authority to act as agent for the temple and Nauvoo house. I would suggest the propriety of your saying that no money should ever be sent by any man except it be someone whom you have appointed as agent, and stop every other man from receiving monies. It has been customary for any elder to receive monies for the temple when he is traveling, but this system of things opens a wide field for every kind of imposition, as any man can assume the name of a Mormon elder and gather his pockets full of money and go to Texas. Many complaints have come to me of money being sent that I have never received. I will mention one case. He is a good man. His name is Russell, from Akron, New York. His brother has been East on business for him, and there received $20 or $25 as a donation to the temple, which he put in Russell's bag with his money, and forgot to take it out before he returned the bag. 2 or 3 days after his return, he called on his brother for the money belonging to the church, but Russell thought his brother had paid out too much of his money, and he would keep the church's money to make good his own. I called to see Russell about the money, and he treated me very politely, but did not give me to understand he ever meant to pay it. He said he did not know at the time that there was any church money in the bag, that he had paid it out, and he had none now. The brother who brought the money from the East stated to the conference that he did not think it was because his brother was short of funds that he kept it, for he had money enough. He had told him that he should not be out of funds again, that his brother had $20 of the church funds and some dried fruit for the president. President Joseph resumed, I give this as a sample of 1,000 instances. We cannot give an account to satisfy the people on the church books unless something is done. I propose that you send your monies for the temple by the 12, someone or all, or some agent of your own choosing, and if you send others, the money is lost. 'Tis lost to yourselves. I cannot be responsible for it. Everything that falls into my hands shall be appropriated for the very thing it was designed for. Next, it is wrong for the church to make a bridge of my nose in appropriating church funds. The incorporation required of my securities, which were lodged in the proper hands as the law directs, and I am responsible for all that comes into my hands. Next, the temple committee are bound to me in the sum of $2,000 with good securities. If they appropriate any property where they ought not, they are liable to me for it, and the church are running to them with funds every day, and thus make a bridge over my nose. I am not responsible for it. If you put it into the hands of the temple committee, I, nor my clerk, know nothing of it. So long as you consider me worthy to hold this office, it is your duty to attend to the legal forms belonging to the business, and if not, put some other one in my place. My desire is that the conference minutes may go forth in such form as those abroad may learn the order of doing business, and that the 12 be appointed to this special mission of collecting funds for the Nauvoo house, so that all may know how to send their funds safe, or bring them themselves, and deliver them to the trustee in trust, or my clerk, who can always be found in my office. Who are the temple committee that they should receive the funds? They are nobody. When I went to the White House at Washington and presented letters of introduction from Thomas Carlin, Governor of Illinois, to Martin Van Buren, he looked at it very insignificantly and said, "Governor Carlin? Governor Carlin? Who's Governor Carlin? Governor Carlin's nobody." I erred in spirit, I confess my mistake, and I here make apology to all the world, and let it be recorded on earth and in heaven that I am clear of the sin of being angry with Martin Van Buren for saying that Governor Carlin's nobody. I have been sorry for it ever since. All property ought to go through the hands of the trustee and trust. There have been complaints against the Temple Committee for appropriating church funds more freely for the benefit of their own children than to others, who need assistance more than they do, and the parties may have till Saturday to prepare for trial. It was then voted unanimously that the 12 be appointed a committee to collect funds to build the Nauvoo House and receive monies for the temple, with this proviso, that the 12 give bonds for the safe delivery of all funds coming into their hands belonging to the Nauvoo House and temple to the trustee and trust, and that the payer also make immediate report to the trustee and trust of all monies paid by him to the 12, and that the instructions of President Joseph Smith to the conference be carried into execution.